Voters in the U.S. state of Ohio are set to go to the polls in the state's primaries, where they will pick candidates for several key positions in the upcoming midterm elections in November. The outcomes of several races in the Midwestern state could have important implications for the crucial midterms, widely seen as a referendum on United States President Donald Trump's second term, and as a vote that will decide which party controls Congress for the remainder of his time in office.
Afghanistan's Taliban-led government has accused neighbouring Pakistan of killing 3 civilians in a cross-border attack, which Kabul has condemned as a war crime. The incident on Monday marked the latest test of a fragile ceasefire between the two countries, brokered by China in April, following months of cross-border fighting that left hundreds dead and injured.
Julius Randle scored 21 points and Anthony Edwards came off the bench to hit 18 points as the visiting Minnesota Timberwolves outlasted the San Antonio Spurs 104-102 in Game 1 of their Western Conference semi-final series. In Monday's game in San Antonio, Minnesota, were bolstered by the return of Edwards, who sustained a bone bruise in his left knee on April 25 that was supposed to keep him out multiple weeks. Lenovo has introduced a new OLED gaming monitor through its Liku sub-brand, expanding its presence in the growing high-end display market. Other than high-end gaming-grade features, it also comes with convenient connectivity, letting you charge other devices or display multiple sources at the same time.
And Khyber Pakhtunkhwa Chief Minister Sohail Afridi has inaugurated a digital license management system for issuing driving licenses under the Provincial Transport Department. Honoring the launch ceremony, the Chief Minister said the system introduces a fully digitised process for licence issuance aimed at improving public facilitation while ensuring transparency and merit. And 2 cases of the deadly hantavirus have been confirmed, and 5 more are suspected among people who were on a luxury cruise ship now held in the Atlantic near Cape Verde, the World Health Organization said in its most detailed update on the outbreak. Around 150 people are still stuck on the Hondias that was carrying mostly British, American and Spanish passengers on a trip that set off from Argentina in March and is now off the coast of West Africa.
Vietnamese President Thalam is expected to discuss expanding defence ties with India during a visit to New Delhi this week, including the potential purchase of BrahMos missiles jointly developed with Russia, 2 sources said. India, which has been building up domestic defence manufacturing for local use and exports, has already sold the supersonic cruise missiles to the Philippines and signed a contract with Indonesia in March. Mercury has risen sharply in Karachi recently, with the city recording its hottest day in 8 years on Monday. The heat has killed at least 10 people, and having to endure a perfect storm of extreme temperatures, lengthy power cuts and a water supply shortage. During such difficult times, we wanted to give our readers a guide on how to get through the city's summer and the many challenges it brings with it. Film star turned politician C. Joseph Vijay is on the cusp of history in Tamil Nadu state. On Monday, his political party Tamilaga Vetri Kazhagam (TVK) defied all naysayers to almost sweep the state election, marking a break in the established political order.
3 people have died, including 2 volunteer rescuers, after a yacht sank and a rescue boat rolled in choppy conditions off Australia's New South Wales NSW coast. Emergency services were called at 18:15 local time on Monday after a member of the public reported a yacht in trouble off the breakwall in South Ballina, a popular coastal destination close to the NSW and Queensland border.
A blast at a fireworks factory in China's Hunan province has killed 26 people and left 61 wounded, according to state media. Rescue operations have wrapped up at the Huasheng fireworks plant in the southern city of Liuyang after an explosion on Monday afternoon forced authorities to evacuate everyone within a 3 kilometres, 1.9 mile radius of the plant.
A coal mine explosion in Colombia's Cundinamarca province killed 9 workers and injured 6, the National Mining Agency said, weeks after issuing risk control recommendations for the site. The blast on Monday at a legally operated mine in the Sutatausa municipality, 72 kilometers, 45 miles north of the capital Bogota, was caused by a buildup of gases, the agency said. Millions of football fans in the world's 2 most populous nations may not be able to watch the FIFA World Cup, which starts next month, due to a deadlock over broadcast rights in India and no official decision in China. There has been no deal announcement in China, which FIFA says accounted for 49.8% of all hours of viewing on digital and social platforms globally during the 2022 World Cup, as well as in India.
A rare reckoning took place within Israel's security establishment this week as senior officials issued increasingly stark warnings about settler violence in the occupied West Bank. According to Israeli media reports, the commander of Israeli military forces in the West Bank major in a closed forum that rising settler attacks could spark a Palestinian uprising, and called the actions of the settlers a disgrace to the Jewish people. Gaza City, Palestine. The United Nations has warned that a new public health crisis is emerging in Gaza as skin diseases spread in crowded camps throughout the enclave, with fears that the situation could soon worsen during the summer. The UN Agency for Palestinian Refugees, UNRWA, has said the number of skin infections has tripled in recent months, with rising temperatures, overcrowding and worsening sanitation creating a breeding ground for scabies, chickenpox and other diseases, particularly among children.
And a significant development project has been initiated to directly link Margala Road with the motorway, aimed at easing travel for citizens. The project was visited by Federal Minister for Interior, Mohsin Naqvi, and who inspected the ongoing construction activities and was briefed on the details of this mega project. The initiative is set to enhance connectivity between Islamabad and the motorway, providing a faster, more convenient route for commuters. And the 2.7 kilometre long project will involve the construction of a 3-lane road on both sides, along with a 2-lane service road. In addition, 2 underpasses and 1 bridge will be built on the GT road to facilitate smoother traffic flow.
The government of Punjab has extended the application deadline for the CM Punjab Revolutionary Internship Programme for veterinary graduates and paravets until May 15, offering more time for candidates to apply under the initiative.
Pakistan's diplomatic missions in Saudi Arabia and the United Arab Emirates, UAE, have resumed passport services after a temporary suspension caused by technical issues at the Directorate General of Immigration and Passports headquarters in Islamabad. According to official notices issued by the Embassy of Pakistan in Riyadh and the Embassy of Pakistan in Abu Dhabi, passport operations were restored on May 5, 2026. Applicants can now visit the embassies to apply for passport issuance and renewal during designated hours.
The government of Pakistan has launched a nationwide initiative to integrate social-emotional learning, SCLL, into school curricula, aiming to strengthen students' mental, emotional and social development alongside academics. The programme has been introduced in partnership with Right to Play and will be implemented under the Ministry of Federal Education and Professional Training in collaboration with the Federal Directorate of Education. The Special Technology Zones Authority has launched the second phase of its Incentive Transition and Ecosystem Strengthening Programme, aimed at improving regulatory integration and expanding support for technology businesses operating in special technology zones. The new phase builds on earlier efforts to streamline licensing through the One Window portal and now focuses on deeper digital integration with keys of doing business to improve ease of doing business. Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif on Tuesday strongly condemned the missiles and drone attacks on civilian infrastructure in the United Arab Emirates, UAE, expressing complete solidarity with the country's President Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan. Pakistan stands firmly with our Emirati brothers and sisters, as well as with the government of the UAE at this difficult time. PM Shehbaz said in a social media post on X.
And an Indian pilot group has submitted a letter to the Aviation Ministry suggesting that electrical failure and not pilot action could have caused the deadly Air India crash last year. The submission by the Federation of Indian Pilots, FIP, which has more than 5,000 members, comes ahead of the expected final report into the crash of the Boeing 787-8 Dreamliner that killed 260 people shortly after takeoff on June 12, 2025.
Governments in Asia, the top oil importing region, are scrambling to find alternatives and insulate their economies from the worst of the energy crisis triggered by the Iran war. But the pain is getting increasingly costly. The disruption spurred the Asian Development Bank to cut its growth forecast for developing Asia and the Pacific to 4.7% this year and 4.8 PC in 2027. Down from 5.1 PC for both years previously, and lifted its inflation outlook to 5.2 PC for this year.
And FIFA's Independent Ethics Committee has banned former Guyana Football Federation, GFF, General Secretary Ian Alves from all football-related activities for 5 years after finding he sexually harassed female staff members. And FIFA also fined Alves 20,000 Swiss francs, 25,500, after determining that he had breached provisions of the FIFA Code of Ethics relating to the protection of physical and mental integrity and abuse of position and general duties.
The United Arab Emirates has said its air defences intercepted ballistic and cruise missiles fired from Iran, while a fire was reported at an oil facility in Fujairah after a suspected drone attack. Tehran has not officially commented. Qatar, Jordan, Saudi Arabia and Kuwait, along with the Gulf Cooperation Council, GCC, and the European Union have condemned the suspected Iranian strike on the UAE.
And Chinese President Xi Jinping has ordered an investigation after an explosion ripped through a fireworks factory in central China and its surrounding area, killing at least 26 people and injuring 61. Xi's order on Tuesday came a day after the explosion at the Huasheng fireworks plant in Liuyang, a city of 1.5 million in central Hunan province.
The Xiaomi 17T series has surfaced again in new leaks, revealing full specifications, design details and expected pricing ahead of launch. Earlier reports suggested the lineup could debut as early as May, and the devices have since appeared in multiple certifications and listings. At least 10 people have died in Karachi due to an intense heat wave as temperatures soared to 44.1 degrees Celsius, the highest recorded in the city since 2018. Officials said relief organisations Eddy Foundation and Chipper Welfare Association reported that most of the victims were found in different parts of the city, with several remaining unidentified.
And the Karachi administration has approved 21 cattle markets across the city ahead of Eid al-Adha, distributing sites across all districts while assigning oversight to multiple authorities to manage the seasonal activity. And according to the official plan, 4 markets will operate as permanent facilities, while 17 will be established on a temporary basis. 6 markets will be managed by the Karachi Metropolitan Corporation, KMC, and while the remaining will fall under the supervision of Deputy Commissioners and Town Municipal Corporations, TMC.